agree that when we talk of social protection and the social protection floor, what we want is transformative social protection, which enables recipients to move out of dependence on social protection provision into a situation of sustained higher productivity and reduced poverty. Cash transfers alone will not result in transformative outcomes because they are used primarily for consumption purposes. There is a need for the provision of complementary interventions which are intended to promote the accumulation of a range of skills and assets to support the likelihood of graduation. When we say graduation, as stated in our reference document for this workshop, refers to those beneficiaries who, having crossed an income, asset, or human development threshold, are no longer in need of the same level of support. Cash transfers were provided alongside social insurance, access to education through guaranteed schooling and back-to-school programs, skills development through vocational training, income generation through the provision of livelihood support, and access to microfinance schemes. This is actually consistent with the ILO recommendation on national floors of social protection that SPF intervention should be combined with additional measures to promote education, literacy, income generation, vocational training, productive skills and employability, entrepreneurship, and sustainable enterprises. In the provision of these social protection programs, the presentation showed that scientific targeting of beneficiaries proved to be very important for the appropriate design of the package of services and transfers, as evidenced by the Benazir's Income Support Program, Chile Solidario, India's Convergence Program, and the One-Stop Crisis Center of Thailand. Because of very clear targeting and careful identification of people's needs and case management mechanisms, they were able to provide adequate packages of protection for the poor and vulnerable groups. The integration of skills development to social protection provision also proves to be necessary for the poor to graduate out of poverty. However, some key questions to ask, which are also being serviced by social protection experts, are: is there demand for the skills in which participants are trained? Where the skills are more oriented to the promotion of self-employment, are they likely to result in increased productivity? And are the skills provided those which beneficiaries would prioritize given their knowledge of the local market? There is a need therefore to ensure that this link between skills development and social protection will result to increased income, productivity, and employability. As to livelihood programs, there might be a need to look into its sustainability. Social protection experts put forward a value chain approach to make households resilient through sustainable enterprises. The value chain approach takes a market system perspective that recognizes the interconnections among firms, including micro-enterprises in an industry, the business environment that governs an industry, and the support market that supplies services such as finance and transport to the firms. Engaging the poor within a market system creates greater value rather than economic activities that are fragmented, small-scale, and on a subsistence level. The challenge to this approach is to design a vision for sustainability focused on households themselves, enabling them to achieve self-reliance and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. These considerations are especially helpful to the Philippines, since we are in the process of developing a national convergence strategy on establishing a social protection floor for those in vulnerable employment, particularly the workers in the informal sector, which accounts for 15 million or 41% of the labor force in the Philippines as of 2011. Actually, as I speak, the Department of Labor and Employment is now celebrating Labor Day for workers in the informal sector, where a partnership agreement among 27 government agencies, workers groups, and employers groups will be signed to establish the SPF for this group of workers. It is a tripartite agreement where representatives of informal sector workers themselves are not only part of the conceptualization and planning stage, but also in the targeting and profiling of beneficiaries, as well as in the implementation, monitoring, and evaluation.